Hello and welcome back to this Let's Play of Pac-Man World. In this part, we enter the final levels, the Mansion World, as we are nearing the end of this Let's Play. And I have to say, it was a fun ride, but hey, it's not over yet. We're still going, so let's enter it. The Mansion levels. And if you stand around this area long enough, you can hear toc-man's evil laugh. Okay, let's see. It should be... I think I gotta go to the door or something. Ah, there it is. Okay, now that we heard that, let's go into the first level. Oh, there it is again. Alright, so anyways, our first level, Ghostly Garden. And with a name like Ghostly Garden, you know that means trouble. Now I'm going to be trying to collect 100% on this level because I wanted to go at the bonus stage. And I'm also going to be getting 100% on the last level, Grave Danger. But we'll get to that one later, because the reason why I did it with that one too was because I feel like if you don't get 100% on that level, you're missing out on quite a bit. So that's why I did it. Now, one thing I have to say is this level has really, really catchy music. It has a extremely cool bass line, like, that plays underneath, and I think it's cool. It's not too creepy sounding, even though it's on an organ and stuff. The next two levels, though, they actually do have more of that eerie, ghostly sounding music, but this one is actually a little bit more joyful than the next two. But, hey, we're only at the beginning of the last levels. We aren't at the two bad ones yet. That's also the other thing with this level. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Bad timing. I thought I had her. But this level isn't too difficult. It's the next two that can really get challenging. Now, these brown coffins that are floating in the air do nothing when you stand on them. They're fine. The purple coffins, however, when you stand on them, they shrink immediately, and you must get off as soon as possible, because if they shrink too much, they become non-existent, and you will fall to your doom, unless there's a platform under you. But anyways, yeah, I think when I was playing this level, I actually didn't mean to get 100%. I just kind of happened to get it. Then towards the end, I was like, oh, I might as well get it. Here's how you do this. You want to butt bounce on there, wait for it to come back, but I messed up there and died. That's frustrating. But anyways, yeah, I didn't originally plan on getting 100% on this one, but I started to get all of the letters, so I'm like, you know what, I might as well give it a shot. Because originally I just wanted Grave Danger to be the only level I got 100% on. But hey, whatever, let's move on. Just me, or does the moon in the background look kind of like a golf ball? You can't really tell now, but if you were to move the whole crescent light and you just look at, you know, the majority of the moon, it really does look like a golf ball. Alright, so anyways, for a final level, I think this world does a really good job. It has that, ooh, okay, I'm gonna get this. Butt bounce here. Yes, that's how you do these. Sometimes when you butt bounce on those purple platforms, they actually don't shrink away. It happens about every once in a while. Not all the time, though. It's going to happen once or twice in this playthrough, so keep a heads up if you want to see what I'm talking about. But anyways, for a final level, I feel like this world does a pretty good job being a final level. It's climatic, it has a more dangerous atmosphere than the other levels, but I feel like it does a good job of doing that without being, you know, too dark or depressing. World 2 borderlines that, even though I'm okay with that last level, but I feel like this one might do a better job overall. Because even compared to the factory levels, the ones I complain about being, you know, too gritty, this is still colorful, but also having that dark, edgy atmosphere at the same time. I mean, it's Pac-Man, you can only get so edgy before it's a little silly. And I hate silly, but, moving on. Alright, so let's grab this and butt bounce our way into this situation. Now, we gotta be careful for those bats. They like to drop these little bombs on you, and they also like to hit you in tight spots like that. Alright, so moving down. Now you gotta wait for the platform to get down. Now you wanna get the C. Oh, shoot, I missed. Butt bounce. Okay, I gotta get that. I gotta go this way. Oh, God, the platform's too high. I gotta do some big platforming skills to get back up. Oh, it's still not down yet. Oh, shoot, how am I gonna get out of this one? And, oh, yes! Sweet. See, that's how you do those sections like a manly man. Why is it every time I compliment my game playing skills, I die literally like 2 seconds later? Or maybe not literally, but, you know, almost 2 seconds later. Oh, hey, at least the power pellet's still there. Half the time when you die, the power pellet goes away. I swear, sometimes in this game, the ledge grabbing mechanic just decides to shut off. It gets irritating, but I got 71 lives, I ain't complaining. Now, the other thing about this level that is a simple detail, but it really adds to the whole, climatic aspect, is I like it how in these levels, the ghosts are just classic Pac-Man ghosts. In every other level, they always wear some type of outfit correlating to the level's themes. In the pirate world, they had pirate gear. In the ruins levels, they had spears and wore, tribal makeup. The space levels, they had space masks. The funhouse levels, they were dressed up as clowns. The factory levels, they had factory outfits. In this level, no gimmick to them. They are just Pac-Man ghosts, pure and simple. And as simple as something like that is, it really does catch a cool effect, and it does give you some good old Pac-Man nostalgia. Out of all the levels in the game, I find this one makes me feel the most nostalgic for the original Pac-Man. And I think it's just little details like that that do it. Also, the fact that this level has the most ghost sections helps a lot. There's also a lot more dot mazes. Not like galaxy mazes, but just little dot areas mixed within. World 2 has a lot of ghosts in the Ghost Island section, but it doesn't feel as Pac-Man-y. And by that, I mean, the arcade game. It doesn't feel as much like the arcade game as this world does, because they have ghosts more as just, obstacles there, and less as actual enemies you can defeat, because there's a lot less power pellets in Ghost Island in World 2. If you want to bring up some logic issues, why are there power pellets everywhere on Ghost Island? That's like their one weakness. I mean, hey, this is a video game trope that almost every single video game has. The idea of, a villain having their weakness right in their own home lair. I mean, look at the final boss from Super Mario Bros. 2. You got, I'm trying to think of another really good example. You got every single boss in Zelda games from Ocarina of Time onwards. They have their weakness inside their own dungeon, since the item you always find in the dungeon is what kills them. So yeah, there's that. Oh, jeez! That was close. But anyways, yeah, the ghosts having power pellets in their own lair. You'd figure that would be almost as if Superman decided to keep kryptonite inside his house. Green kryptonite to be exact. Alright, so let's see what's down here. Letter A, Pac-Man. Alright, so let's head back up here. Alright, slow-moving platforms. Yeah, this level has a little bit of that, slow-moving platforms, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I gotta give this level credit. It does a pretty good job of mixing the background with the foreground, because, you got that static image in the background, but then you got a lot of little hills in the front to kind of make it mesh in, and I think it does a nice job. Not a perfect illusion, because, hey, it's PlayStation 1, but I gotta give it credit, it looks pretty nice at times. This probably is one of the worster levels overall at just making it feel like you were literally standing on, giant, grassy little platforms that just rise up 1,000 feet above a bottomless pit. I mean, I know that's kind of what all the levels are, but this one, I think, is the biggest offender of it. The pirate levels, Crazy Cannonade kind of did it. The space levels, the factory levels, and the funhouse levels, I feel like they did a better job kind of hiding that. These levels right here, it does feel a little odd, like you are literally just, for whatever reason, just on these platforms that rise thousands of feet above the ground. And I know, again, it's PlayStation 1, and I'm okay with that. And even though it probably sounds like I'm nitpicking a flaw, I love rolling down that to get all the dots. Okay, ready, roll. Oh, I'm not rolling there. Anyways, it probably sounds like I'm nitpicking a flaw, but not really, actually. I think it's kind of like, if every level worked like that, I'd just be like, okay, I kind of wish they could have fixed it a little bit, but I'm down with it. But the fact that it's mostly the mansion levels that do that, I think they kind of are allowed to get away with it, because it's the final level. It's supposed to be, the most extreme looking, and I think this adds a good edge to it. That's Pac-Man. This last section level looks like a bunch of boobs. Looks like two boobs dangling down. That platform the ghosts are on. Okay, anyways, you are about to witness the hardest bonus stage in the game to me. However, I'm okay with that, because number 1, it's the last world, it needs to be hard, and number 2, it's not cheap hard like the Ruins one. Although you might lose lives, so that's irritating. The way you hit it is you hit the blue switch, you do some coffin hopping, and you go in circles, and you rinse, and repeat, and no! I had a pretty cruddy run on that, but I have a better run next time, though, so you just gotta wait till then. Alright, so let's put those dots in the machine, let's feed in that fruit that I got, and am I going to try my luck? Galaxian, and oh, what's that? Galaxian. See, I told you I was good at these. It probably sounded like I was lying in the beginning when I said that because I messed up over and over, but I am good, I just needed time to improve. Writing memory card, and let's go. Now, one little thing for you folks back at home is I actually recorded these parts, like I did the gameplay recording of these parts after I did the commentary recording on the space levels. So most people let's play entire games all the way through. When they do that, they would record all their footage at once and then do all the commentary afterwards. But I actually kind of slacked off a little bit with these levels, and I had to do it after doing the space levels. So I'm a disorganized let's player. Yeah. Now this level has some awesome music. It is extremely cool sounding. Makes you feel like a hero. This is when it gets really, really dark sounding, and the melody gives it a really sad and depressing atmosphere, but it never makes it feel out of place for this game. It feels like it fits in perfectly, it's climatic, it's just an overall really well done song, and it, of course, most importantly, it's catchy. And I also die. But this is the song that they chose for the maze levels in this world, which I'm glad that they chose this one, because I think this is the best one out of all the songs in the Ghost world. And the music to the Ghost maze, you know, this when it's pitched down, just sounds awesome. I love it. It's one of my favorite songs in the game, especially the piano melody. Alright, so we gotta do some platform hopping. This is also when the difficulty in this world picks up. I feel like it's not quite as hard as Spin Dizzy. The game doesn't have the best difficulty climb. But dang it, it is pretty difficult. But like the Funhouse world, I feel like it does a really good job of being fair. There's really no times where I got a lot of deaths and was just saying, okay, I don't deserve to die, this is just cheap level design. It's never cheap. It is always fair. When you die, 99% of the time, it is your fault. You don't blame the game, you blame yourself. And that's good level design. It's what makes Pac-Man World such a fun game to replay. Alright, so let's get that letter A right there. And I know that there are a few times in this Let's Play, and that always happens when I play a game, there are a few times where I die due to a camera angle or a little cheap thing. But this game does such a good job of keeping that to a minimum. And now I like this level because of the little cave areas you climb down in. It's cool. I feel like it, you know, adds another layer to these levels, rather than making it where, you know, I feel like I'm playing the exact same levels again, just with a different layout, since they have that crud. It would have been really easy for this game to make it feel like every single world, you know, you're playing the exact same thing again with just slightly different layouts. I mean, admittedly, that's kind of how some of the classic Sonic games feel. But this game does a really good job of mixing up enough scenery to make it where you don't feel like you're doing that. And I think the mansion levels do a really good... Whoa. That thing's deadly. The mansion levels do a really good job of that. Because... Ah, shoot. That was a bad idea. You know, the... Oh, whoa, that surprised me. Anyways, you know, you got the first mansion level, which is mostly above bottomless pits outside. And then this one, most of the level takes place in these caves. Alright, just be careful and then kill that spider right there, because, hey, he's a jerk. I also love the little eyes right there. Oh, shoot. I think several times in this Let's Play on these levels, my Zelda instincts kicked in, because my Zelda instincts have recently changed me, where whenever I'm in a game and I'm hanging on a bottomless pit, I normally push forward on the analog stick or D-pad to climb up, because that's what you do in Zelda. But in this game, you actually hit the A button to climb up, and the B button to jump off, which makes sense, but I'm just, I guess I'm used to Zelda. I also love the blue color of these caves. The blue really pops right off the screen. It looks cool. But again, it's colorful and it's vivid, but it does a good job not killing the dark, moody atmosphere this level has. The mansion levels overall are just really well done levels. There's nothing mind-blowing about them, especially to today's standards, but it's just overall really well. And, you know, that's how I feel about this game as a whole. There is nothing mind-blowing about it at all, but it's just a really good game. You can tell that when the game designers made this game, they put effort into it. They poured their heart and soul into the level design, the visuals. It's just a well-made game, and I love every aspect of it. Sure, games like Mario 64, you know, the original Sonic the Hedgehog, sure, those games will be remembered for being mind-blowing and revolutionary, and it changed video games forever. And sure, this game is not one of those, but dang it, it is just a fun game. I feel like I'm getting sentimental a bit, but I'm not. I'm still gonna be completely emotionless. Yeah, okay. So anyways, oh shoot, I thought I could walk around back there, but I can't. We're at the part where you need to get the key for Mrs. Pac-Man. She's the last person you need to unlock, because one thing that you might or might have not noticed is as the game goes on, the people you unlock become more and more famous Pac-Man characters and ones that are more popular. Like first you unlock Puka, which despite being pretty popular, he's not a Pac-Man character, so it makes sense that he's the first and the least important of this game. Second, you unlock the dog Chomp Chomp, which isn't too well known outside of the Pac-Man fan base. Then Professor Pac-Man, that out of all the kind of well-known Pac-Man characters, he's probably the least. Then Baby Pac-Man, which is the next, and then Junior Pac-Man, and then the big one, Mrs. Pac-Man. So I think that's kind of a cool thing, how, you know, you get more and more excited as you unlock characters farther in the game, because they're characters that you're more familiar with. Then when you get to the mansion levels, you're like, oh, I get to save Mrs. Pac-Man, yes, the popular one. That's kind of a nice, cool little effect. So yeah, there's that key back there, and we gotta do that. When we hit that switch, it blows the walls open, and we get the key. You see, I kind of wish the levels where you got the key did it a bit more like this. A lot of levels have it where you don't know where the key is until you get it last minute. This one, you can clearly see the key in plain sight, but the challenge is just a matter of... oh, shoot. The challenge is just a matter of getting to the key. You can clearly see it behind the gate, but you don't necessarily know how to get it. So I feel like when you miss Mrs. Pac-Man in this level, or she's actually in the next level, if you don't have the key and get to her and you can't save her, I feel like, you know, it really feels like it's your own fault. You saw the key, you missed it, but you know where to go back and get it, and it's not annoying. Other levels, if you don't know where a key is and you go to your friend and you can't save them, I feel like there's a lot of frustratingness of, okay, I gotta figure out where the key is, I have no idea where it is, I gotta go back. Alright, now we gotta climb on these fire shooting things to get across. One thing this game loves doing sometimes, especially in the Pirate World, is whenever it has, you know, things on a wall that shoot at you, it loves having it where you actually need to climb on them to get across. Alright, I gotta be careful. Like, normally those statues in the background are used like this, where they're fire-breathing obstacles, but I like the fact that the game kind of flips that whole obstacle aspect on its head, and it has parts where you must climb across. It's cool. Crazy Cannonade did it by far the most, but this level does it cool. Ugh. This level does it as well, so I like that. Alright. So now we gotta head up here, and we gotta be really careful. We don't want to get ourselves hurt. If we get hurt, we get killed, and death is dangerous, so don't die. Level complete. And now, let's go to the bonus room and count up our stuff, and yeah. Dang it. Yeah, dang it. Not enough letters. Yeah. Even when you don't try to get 100%, it's still a little frustrating hearing a big sound whenever you don't have a letter. You're like, dang it, I wish I had that. Oh well, overwrite. Let's save. And then I will see you guys in the next part.